Overwatch is famous for its character design, so as a way to sort of talk about it, I want to talk about Symmetry specifically. And what better way to start than with the character named after Symmetry? Symmetra! Yeah, well, Symmetra's thing, a lot of her voice lines and is order. If you didn't know, for a bit of a LARPer, her thing is order. And when you look at her, especially Overwatch 1, she is very symmetrical, except for her prosthetic arm, which is, white and her skin is brown. Well, there's that. And then in Overwatch 2, her shirt is, her top. Now, I don't like saying that because it sounds gay. Her shirt is asymmetrical because she's distancing herself from visual. She's growing as a person. It's very beautiful visual storytelling. Yes, yes, yes. And, well, let's shift over to, I don't know where I'm going to go next because both of these guys are missing an arm and they're both they exist in contrast to Symmetra. So, okay, well, Torbjorn's older. Let's start with him. Torbjorn has a claw, and his claw, in contrast to Symmetra's white, pristine prosthetic arm, is very crude, and it kind of brings, to my mind, tongs. Whenever they show a guy at like the forge, that he pulls out like that, the hot metal with the tongs, and that makes you think of tools. And then you look at him, and wait a minute, he's got that attached to his arm. This guy's like some sort of futuristic engineer, and oh my god, I think Torbjorn might be a futuristic engineer. And listen, it works. It works. And then Junkrat. I'm known. I'm a big Junkrat Symmetra shipper because they are opposites, and it's so funny. That's really the only reason. He's chaos, she's order. He's got like a missing leg. He's got like the shorts and shit that messes with his shape. She doesn't. It's a thing. You pick up on it. He looks chaotic. And fuck it, Hazard. He's also got an asymmetry thing going. Whenever he's got the gun arm, and whenever he leaps, you see his big ass fucking pink blade coming at me. Yeah, Hazard. And he's got like the belt and chain on, that are both kind of black and gray, so it's hard to tell. You may not even know that it's there, but I do. And saying nice things about Hazard, it should be easy. This is like my favorite character. As an anarchist, he's chaos aligned. Sounds so fucking dorky when I say it like that, but yes, Hazard is. He would be. That's his alignment. Chaos. All right. Symmetra's law. Hazard's chaos. Who's fucking? Yo. Whoa. Big ass dog. It's like taller. Whatever. We're moving on. I'm gonna. Malga and Reaper. These guys are not. These guys are symmetrical, and I think that's because they're pretty simple. And also Tracer. Well, yeah. Yeah, they are. They all have two guns that are basically identical, and they're pretty simple. Their mindset is clear. Reaper, he will kill you, and he won't really feel conflicted. So will Malga. And Tracer, Tracer's probably killed people, but they're goons. They're talent guys. It's cool. Don't worry about it. Who do I have here? Oh, Cassidy. He has this poncho that hides his cyber arm and highlights his gun, and I'm pretty sure he uses his cyber arm to throw like his flashbangs and his bullshit. So it's kind of like that's where his trump card is sort of hidden. I think maybe, but yeah, it highlights his gun. It's pretty effective asymmetry. Good for gameplay. One of the things that can make Mizuki kind of not instantly appealing for people is how kind of messy he looks, and I think that's on purpose why he looks kind of messy and sort of underhanded, because you can't see his face and he's asymmetrical. And I think it's pretty good because he's a character that is in conflict with finding, you know, family in the yokai, and what the fucking Toshiro, and also, you know, the whole Hashimoto thing. Yeah, it makes sense. That's why he looks like that. And you can even sort of extend it to Hanzo, because Hanzo's got like his was it right or left? I can't remember. I'm not a Hanzo head. He's got one arm that's less covered, and a lot of characters do have an arm that's less covered, like Amre. Amre, I don't give a shit how to say his name. But and I guess they're also, you know, not doing too hot. Amre's being puppeted by like some was it Finland? Finnish thing? Chernobog. It's such a cool name. If you imagine if like there's a story event and then they just start calling him Chernobog instead of Amre, I just got chills. But yeah, you can. But as I was saying, Mizuki, you know, disheveled, you know, out of balance, and then you look at Zenyatta and Ramatra. These are characters who have like strong convictions. They, you know, and even Reinhardt, and also then again you have Brigitte, and with Brigitte you look at her, she is asymmetrical, but she doesn't look like weak. Well, not weak. She doesn't look untrustworthy like Mizuki, because you can see Brigitte's face, and B, Brigitte is large, and that's the thing with, you trust bigger things, you know, like May is a trustworthy figure. Winston, trustworthy. The moment you put a mask on someone, the less trustworthy you look. That's why Sombra, mostly symmetrical, but she's got like the hair thing. It's so cool in the collar, and that's how you know you can't trust her. It's so good. It's so good. Okay, and if you're still listening, okay, well, I'm not gonna do the thing yet. I'm gonna do it now. Actually, I lied. This was bait for another Vendetta video. This is part 10 of the Vendetta slander series. Okay, so Doomfist and Vendetta, they share colors and they also share asymmetry. When you look at them, you kind of know that they're meant to be warriors because they're not wearing a lot of clothes. And I think their asymmetry hints at the way they cause chaos. But where I think Doomfist looks large enough to, you know, control his weapon, that being the gauntlet, and it keeps his accessories, you know, to a minimum. Vendetta is wearing earrings and heels and has pretty big hair, and big hair is something that is seen on characters like Widowmaker, Symmetra, Lifeweaver, Sierra now, but before Sierra didn't exist. None of those characters, even including Sierra, are close combat specialists. Okay, you look at Zarya, look at her hair. Not that bullshit they put on her head for Overwatch 2. Overwatch 1 Zarya, you look at her hair, you know what type of person she can wrestle you. Okay, she can't get her hair pulled in combat. She won't get stuck on something. It looks like she's ready to fight. And some people, not me, because I didn't come up with this criticism, but you know, I kind of noticed it, but I couldn't put it into words. When you look at Ayn Rand and her having a ponytail and also throwing around fire, it's like, you probably shouldn't have long hair if you're going to be doing that thing. But this isn't something that they really take into consideration nowadays. The character design has gotten worse. When you get a Mizuki, it's special. Okay, so yeah, and again with Vendetta, her asymmetry is the armor shit. It's not like horse. She does have to hold her sword on one side, so it does, you know, sort of work. And we haven't. I don't know. Her story's not over yet, so I can't go into too much detail about her character. But I guess it does its job at like hinting at the chaos thing. So good job, Vendetta. You're making it. Yeah. Oh, and Moira. So what makes Moira so cool is that her Overwatch 1 design is, you know, symmetrical, and most of her other skins are. But the Overwatch 2 one is not, because it shows her you know, her mutated arm, you know, progressing. But usually she is symmetrical. She is, you know, calm, cool, collected, sexy, and that's well, yeah. So there it is. I hope you get the point. And maybe when you look at a cool character, this might be something that makes you think. Why do I find them cool? Is I don't know. They're announcing the new hero on Tuesday. Well, they're revealing the new hero, and she has long hair, so they have long hair, so I'm assuming she's female. I think everyone knows that by now. Everyone assumes that, yeah, she's gonna be a girl, and I don't have high hopes based on Aaron and Sierra and Vendetta, and I'm going to stop myself. What was I saying? Yeah. So when you look at the new hero, think to yourself, is this a law or chaos character? Are they in or out of balance? Does this hint at the way they fight in some way? Who knows? So, look, okay, I stopped recording and I immediately thought about Vendetta. I can't get her out of my head. She's meant for me. They're inseparable. Anyways, having armor only on one arm, wouldn't that like? I don't know. Because it's not like it's your shield arm with Brigitte, because she's using two different like weapons, the shield and the mace. But in the case of Vendetta, like you have to swing the sword from side to side. So like, shouldn't both arms be armored? Wouldn't there be like sort of, I don't know, like an imbalance or something? Okay, well, she's out of balance. I guess that's the thing with Vendetta. Yeah, sure. That makes sense. It's like, whatever. But like, it's still stupid though, because like, what's the point of only having armor on like one arm and then not your legs or literally anywhere else? I can believe that Doomfist and Malga don't need to wear armor, because when you literally are not wearing a shirt in this world where people are cyborgs, I can make the assumption that they're cocky, they're confident. That's why they don't do it. They don't need it. Freeze them up. Maybe they want to show off their body, and while, but when you half-ass it, it's weird. And while, because now I'm thinking about Hazard. Hazard also doesn't wear a shirt. When I first saw him, I called him White Malga. He still kind of is. Anyways, he's not. They're different characters, like literally, like they're writing and stuff in their gameplay, but they share very similar boxy square type bodies. But they're different. They're different. Hazard has like a Dorito shape. Malga's full on rectangle. Different enough. But Hazard goes through the trouble of having the chain and then the belt and then the jacket with like the pins on it, but he doesn't wear a shirt. I don't get it. I don't get it. So the funniest thing happened today. The new hero Shion is an Omnic with. Okay, so let's go over what make Omnic characters special. They usually cannot move their mouths, and well, they don't move their faces at all. And before Shion, we had Max. This was the most human-like Omnic that we know of. A few of them are shown to have like hair pieces or whatever, and things that simulate hair. But Max, he had eyes that move. And he could blink. This was the most human-like an Omnic has gotten. But Shion, the team over at Blizzard that continue to push the envelope, Shion has she has a face. She has a face that can move. A human face complete with lipstick and the movable eyes and everything. And her body is that of a human woman, and it really makes me wonder what part about this character is supposed to be an Omnic. And if you are an Omnic fan, if you do like robots and robotic characters, what is there to like? Nothing. There's nothing to like. If you like bad bitches, you're gonna like that character. But if you like robots, there's nothing for you. So there's nothing for me. I don't even think she looks that cool. She's in a suit, and I think that's pretty boring. We just got Domina. Max also wears a suit, and I just really, I don't care. She doesn't look big. She doesn't look like the boss or anything. It's garbage. Vendetta, you've been dethroned.